Ganeshaya Namaha. Animal fiber, 7th class lesson. Story of silk. Making of silk or silk fabric is very interesting story. This involves various persons and practices. To know about silk, Nilima visited a sericulture exhibition. People there shared the following experience with Nilima. Stall moth to egg. This was the stall where eggs and different moths were displayed here. Hello, I am the Pratima living in Tadakapalli of Anandapur district. My father works in a seed growing center. Do you know we call eggs of silk moth as seeds? Silk moth is a light butterfly. We keep those moths in grill mesh boxes in separate rooms. My father takes care of those silk moths. We call them as a chilakalu. My father said another name of these moths is Bombax mori. My father said another name of these moths is Bombax mori. At the time of laying eggs, we arrange the white cloth piece or paper. Moths lay hundreds of eggs on them, and a female moth lays around 500 eggs in one go and dies. Those eggs are very small in size. Farmers from different places of our districts come and purchases these eggs. Most of the times my father allows these eggs to hatch in special chambers, usually over mats on beds of chopped mulberry leaves to get small worms. Farmers from Kurnool, Kadapa, Mahabubnagar and some other places of our state come and purchase these tiny worms. Sometimes silk moths are also sold. People buy these silk moths to produce eggs. These centers are called granages. Granages. I saw a big seed growing center at Horsley Hills in Chittor district, said Pratima. Sometimes silk moths are also sold. People buy these silk moths to produce eggs. These centers are called granages. I saw a big seed growing center at Horsley Hills in Chittor district, said Pratima. Egg to cocoon. Here, large trays with leaves and larvae feeding on them could be seen. Some trays had white and yellowish egg-like structures. Here, large trays with leaves and larvae feeding on them could be seen. Some trays had white and yellowish egg-like structures. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Rahman from Hanuman Junction of West Godavari district. We grow silkworms to get cocoons. We get 5 to 6 harvests of worms in a year. My father, and my brother work on our farm. We have 2 acres of mulberry plantation. My grandfather brought mulberry twigs from Palamaneru of Chittur district. Where sericulture, the whole process of obtaining silk starting from silk moth is carried out. We plant the twigs to get the mulberry crop. My father purchased tiny white colored silkworms caterpillars from seed growing centers at Horsley Hills. We place these worms in trays. We chop mulberry leaves into small pieces to feed them. These worms eat leaves and night. Day and night they need good hygienic conditions and proper light to grow. When they grow bigger in size, we transfer the worms into big sized cane frames called chandrikalu. After 30 to 35 days, the caterpillar stops eating and settles at a particular place. It weaves a net to hold itself. A caterpillar moves its mouth from side to side and secretes a fiber-like substance. When it is exposed to air and heat, it becomes stronger. The net is woven completely to cover the body of the caterpillar. This aims to be closed sac. This is called Pattukayalu cocoon. So, completely to cover the body of the caterpillar, this seems to be closed sac. This is called pattukayalu or cocoon అంటారన్నమాట. My father said the larva of silkworm undergoes changes in the cocoon to change into a moth. After 2 to 3 weeks, young moths come out from the cocoons and fly away. So we have to be very careful. Within 2 to 3 days of formation of cocoon, we start removing them from the tray. We kill the larva inside by a process called stifling. By putting a lot of these in a steam over for 10 to 15 minutes, these cocoons have to be stifled to kill the larva inside, as otherwise it will cut its way out after growing into a mouth and spoil the cocoon. We will not be able to get a continuous thread of silk from such cocoon. Thus, we won't be able to obtain quality fiber or fabric. Stifling help us to store the cocoons for a long time. Stifling help us to store the cocoons for a long time. This process is usually done in drilling centers. These cocoons are kept in sealed bags, and these cocoons are kept in sealed bags and sold at the cocoon market. If not stifled, we sell them off within a week. My father usually inquires about the rates of cocoons in the market at Hindipur, Madanapalli, and Dharmavaram, Kadri, Palamaneru, Raichoti, and Hyderabad. Do you know, apart from mulberry, Tassar silk, Desali Pattu is produced in our state. Some species of silk moths that lay eggs on Terminalia oak plantation produce Tassar silk. Mostly tribal people rear this kind of cocoons. This silk plantation is mainly concentrated in Karimnagar, Adilabad, Warangal, Khammam, and coastal regions of East Godavari and Vishakhapatnam. Cocoon to fiber, a process of reeling fiber to yarn, and Nilima observed that some people were to boiling and stirring something in large parts, locating ends of thread of cocoon. A person stood in the corner explaining about the process of obtaining fiber from cocoon. I am the Prashant from Shadnagar of Mahabubnagar district. I work in the reeling center. Nilama saw cocoons being boiled in water. She was shocked and uttered, "Hey, what are you doing? We are boiling cocoons to get silk fiber. Caterpillar of silkworms spin fiber, which is mainly made up of two types of protein, sericin and fibrin, and is very strong. The cocoons have to be boiled to loosen the fiber to be able to reel it. Obtaining silk fiber from cocoon is called reeling. Obtaining silk fiber from the cocoon is called reeling. It is done with special machines called reelers and twisters. The silk fiber is carefully collected from the cocoon, and nearly 3 to 8 of such threads are wound together to make yarn from it, which is reeled. This yarn is cleaned, bleached, and colored. The yarn is ready to be woven into a variety of design fabrics and looms. You can see reeling centers at Nandi, Kontur, Hyderabad, Karimnagar, etc. Wrap of sari being prepared. Reeling to weaving, Nilima Sai handloom at one corner of the exhibition and talked with the person displaying it. Namaste, I am Bhupati belonging to Pochampalli Silk City of Andhra Pradesh. We weave a silk fabric by using silk yarn on handlooms. So for us, weaving is a traditional occupation. We get silk yarn from reeling centers to weave a variety of saris. Pochampalli Pattu and Dharmavaram are famous types of produced by our state. Pochampalli Pattu is also called tie and dye or jamdani. Pochampalli Patti is also called tie and dye or jamdani. Dharmavaram is famous for its wide border and rich butta or dots. Dharmavaram is famous for its wide border and rich butta or dots. Banaras, Kanchipuram, Dharmavaram, Narayanpeta, Kottakota, Pochampalli are all types of silk fabrics. They get their names from the places where they are made. You may have also heard the names of Tasa silk, Muga silk, Kosa silk, Eri silk, etc. as you went through different styles here. These are all survival varieties of silk. Some chemicals add strength to silk fiber. Silk is used to make other products as well, like a stain and crepe. We have both handlooms and power looms to weave silk. Nilma was filled with wonder and delight about the fabric of her silk frock. She tried to make a flow chart of her life cycle of silk. Mother tried to help her. Life cycle of silkworm. First eggs to larva to cocoon, pupa అంటాము, pupa to imago అంటే the adult one అనమాట. Next, draw the flowchart of life cycle of silkworm in your notebook. Next, do you know the thread you get from the average cocoon ranges from about 1000 to 3000 feet, and about 2000 to 3000 cocoons are required to make 500 grams of silk. That is about 50 lakhs feet or more than 1000 miles. That's not all people involved in this process suffer from skin as well as respiratory problems due to continuous handling of silkworm and the silk fibers. Story of Wool. Next day, Nilima visited another part of the exhibition with her grandpa. The entrance was shaped like a big sheep. She entered through the stomach of the sheep into the exhibition hall. She was surprised because the setting seemed to be a real Kashmir village. There she saw different varieties of woolen clothes like sweaters, muffles, hats, long coats, table covers, etc. There were models of different types of animals like sheep, goat, yak, llama, camel, alpaca, etc. There. She knows sheep gave wool, but why were the other animals displayed the stalls? Grandpa told Nilima that wool is obtained from hair of all the animals displayed. It is also called fleece or fur collectively. It is mainly a protein. Good quality wool is obtained from merino sheep. They are especially reared. The fleece is 3 to 5 inches long and very fine and most valuable. A merino sheep may yield about 5 to 18 kg of wool per year. Grandpa, do find any difference between hair of all animals? Certainly, hair of camel that lives in Rajasthan is not same as Angora goat that lives in Kashmir. Camels have rough and coarse hair. Under this rough hair, some animals usually have soft hair as well. Angora goat or the merino sheep have a soft hair. Grandpa, where do we find sheep or goat that give us wool? In Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttaranchal, Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim, Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan, and Gujarat, they are often reared on large farms. Grandpa, what are they doing with that scissor? That is a shear to cut fleece from sheep during spring season. Fleece of a sheep is removed from its body using this type of razor. Well, there are sorting codes and soft ones as well as broken and long ones, and making separate piles of them. Unwanted materials like twigs or bits of leaves, etc., that may be present with the wool or also separate out. This process is called storing, sorting, or wool classing. Fleece is the soft mass of wool. Fleece is the soft mass of wool. Grandpa, how do these woolen fibers get different colors? What is there in the tubs? There is a machine for combing or carding wool. Wool is pulled through many teeth of the combing machine. From there, a machine rolls and pulls and it out into a thick rope, and still another pulls and twists into a long thread. This is the process of spinning. Here you can see it being on whirling spools as well. Thus we get the yarn which may be dyed before weaving. Grandpa, how can I use those needles? What are they doing with the needles? Neelima, they are knitting woolen fabrics by using needles. Wool can be knit easily because it has a natural bend or on it. Crimp on it by making knots with the loops and rings of long threads of yarn. Woolen fabric are knitted. In addition to handmade process of knitting, handlooms and power looms are also used on which woolen yarn is woven to fabric. Woolen threads are stretched from the top of the loom to the bottom. These are called wrap threads. The threads that go side to side are weft threads. A shuttle like a big needle takes the weft threads over and under wrap threads. One more important part of the loom is the harness. The harness lifts every other wrap thread so that the weft threads go over one and under the next. All types of yarn, whether cotton or silk or wool, etc., are woven in this manner. Nilma was surprised to see how fast knitting was being carried out. She sat near a man to observe and learn how to knit. Nilma purchased a book about woolen fabrics and sweater for her grandma and returned home. At home, Nilima made a flow chart to show the process involved in the obtaining wool to producing fabric. ఫస్ట్ షేరింగ్ మీన్స్ కటింగ్ అనమాట. స్కోరింగ్ అంటే క్లీనింగ్, సార్టింగ్ అంటే డిఫరెంట్ చేయడము, బ్లీచింగ్ బ్లీచింగ్ అంటే మొత్తం బ్లీచ్ చేయడము. అండ్ నెక్స్ట్ దాన్ని డైయింగ్, కోంబింగ్, కార్డింగ్ అంటాము. నెక్స్ట్ స్పిన్నింగ్ అండ్ వీవింగ్ ఆర్ నిట్టింగ్, రోలింగ్ అండ్ ట్విస్టింగ్ అండ్ వూలెన్ ఫ్యాబ్రిక్. షేరింగ్, స్కోరింగ్, సార్టింగ్, 3 S's. నెక్స్ట్ బీడీసీ అంటే బ్లీచింగ్, డైయింగ్, కోంబింగ్. నెక్స్ట్ స్పిన్నింగ్, వీవింగ్ ఆర్ నిట్టింగ్, రోలింగ్ అండ్ ట్విస్టింగ్ and woolen fabric. Grandpa asked Nilima to check and make corrections in the sequence. What corrections do you think Nilima needs to make? Silk, mainly protein. Cotton, mainly a carbohydrate called cellulose. Silk, mainly protein. Cotton, mainly a carbohydrate called cellulose. Do you know? Wool is a poor conductor of heat. Air trapped in between the woolen fabrics and our body prevents the flow of heat from our body to our surroundings, so we feel hot and are protected from cold. Woolen clothes also help us to douse fire. Thank you for watching my video.